Hi everyone, my name is Angela Hart. I'm a Communication, Culture, and Technology graduate student at Georgetown University. For the last year, I've been working on my thesis project, which pertains to the ramifications that political film adaptations may or may not have on viewing audiences. I used the film Recount as my case study. I had participants do a pre-survey, watch the film, post-survey, and then discuss the movie. Recount depicts the 2000 election, Bush versus Gore, and all the different issues that occurred down in Florida in regards to voter tabulation. In order to determine what was true and what was not true in the film, I did extensive research on the 2000 election. My favorite book that I consulted was Jeffrey Tobin's Too Close to Call. As you can tell from the post-it notes, I found this book extraordinarily useful. I highly recommend it to anybody interested in learning about the 2000 election or the voter tabulation issues that occurred. Out of all of the texts that I read and I utilized for my research, I found his to be the least biased. He addressed both sides and how the Republicans are trying to have the election called because they thought that Bush won fairly and the process was prolonging the inevitable. Whereas the Democrats felt that the voter issues down in Florida needed to be addressed and that if they could just get votes counted, then Al Gore could possibly win. Tobin doesn't take a side in this book. He simply addresses what each side was trying to accomplish. I found that to be extraordinarily different from most of the other research that I was conducting. I really appreciated his unbiased approach because a lot of the other literature on the market does take a side and try and determine who was in the right and who was in the wrong. It was important that Tobin just addressed the details and the facts and the ramifications that they had in the process. By not taking a side, I appreciated Tobin's approach, and so that allowed me as the reader to continue on without feeling as if I was being alienated based on my own personal beliefs, and so I found that to be very important in this book. I also appreciated the fact that this book was chronological. The events of the recount started on Election Day, November 7th, when voters in Florida didn't know if they voted for Al Gore or Pat Buchanan. On election night, the networks all called Florida for Gore, took it away from Gore, gave it to George Bush, and then took it away from Bush. And that was due to flood exit polls. In the film Recount, the characters never address why the networks were incorrect on election night. Both parties and networks were utilizing their contacts in the media industry and reporting numbers that were not true. That led to the networks preemptively calling Florida. The faulty information was delivered to the American public, and the news networks are never going to address the fact that they were incorrect because of themselves, and so it's important for other people to understand why there was bad information and where the facts really were. And so I thought that it was important that this book addressed that issue. I also like the book because it provides a general overview of all the individuals involved and definitions that one would need to know. Due to the fact that the book is chronological, it depicts all the main players involved with the recount process. If you have any questions about why I enjoyed this book so much or how I utilized it in my study, please comment down below or contact me directly. I would love to talk to you more about this in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your time.